YouTube has systematically begun a hate campaign against certain YouTube channels that they find offensive, using the guise that we are violating their community guidelines. This is a bogus claim because they never say what was the violation whenever they remove your video.
We should never allow the government to decide what is acceptable speech and what is unacceptable speech. We should penalize behaviors, not opinions, and not speech. If you start trying to regulate speech, you start trying to regulate thoughts, you start trying to regulate beliefs rather than behaviors, there's no way that you're not going to abridge the constitutional rights of millions of Americans.
The BBC and the Obama Foundation present this exclusive extension to the interview between Prince Harry and Barack Obama. A recent interview that was made between Prince Harry and former President Barack Obama were heard to give Q&As about a subject that most won't talk about even now. Most consider these subjects to be of a controversial nature and even conspiratory. This transcript was all that could be obtained of these conversations with the former dictator of the United States. When Prince Harry did a candid and unrehearsed interview with former President Barack Obama in September 2017, he expected that Obama would be willing to open up about every subject. He didn't expect this kind of directness from his personal friend, to questions he would inquire about. Prince Harry asked Obama about many things, his personal reflections about the social media issues, his favorite actors and actresses, singers, etc. What happened next was unexpected, and though the BBC has denied these questions were asked, we have obtained this untold account of his statements with the future King of England. As we have learned, the audio from this candid interview of these particular questions were destroyed immediately after the interview was completed. Barrack, let me ask you about a subject that most of the public in America ask all the time, but we never seem to be able to get the facts straight from the establishment. What is the real issue about the New World Order that we have heard about? You know, Harry, anyone who didn't see what was happening while I was still president are the same ones who don't want to know. They idolized me, worshipped me, and they still do to this day. I laugh about it because I never tried to conceal the global rhetoric that was started even when George W. Bush was still president. He said it on the day of 9/11, this is not a war against Islam. It was the beginning of the global instigation of submission to the New World Order. Many on YouTube continue to bring these things to the public's attention, but you don't see them going full power towards a conclusion. They are laughed at, disavowed as weirdos. Truthfully, Harry, you and I both know what the final outcome will be. Subversion to authority will come and they can't stop it. Barrack, we're both really close and I know I'm not saying anything you don't already know. Are you the famed Antichrist we have read about in the Bible? I mean, do you and the Vatican have a plan of attack against the resistance that is building around the world right now against you? Harry, I don't have to really answer that question, because we know what the itinerary has been moving towards, since 2008 when I took office. They wanted a Messiah who could pull all their desires together, and it became reality, as I intended it to. I gave it to the United States for 8 years, but you see they were never satisfied with it. They still cry out to me, they want more. Don't worry everyone, it's coming again very soon. I might have left the White House that day, but really I'm still controlling it all from wherever I go in the world, but they're too stupid to see what's going on. I can go wherever I want to and they don't even know I'm doing it, until I decide to tell them. To answer your other question about the Vatican, I made the decision that Benedict should abdicate his papal see to Francis. You know, Harry, that's never happened before in the Roman Catholic Church, but do you see anyone in an uproar about it? Did anyone question why such a thing would happen and why? Of course not, because I told them not to, and they didn't. Francis has instructed the group in Geneva, CERN, to continue communicating with my father through the Hadron Collider, using the telescope at Mount Graham Observatory. They even call it an obvious reference that no one will even acknowledge, the Lucifer device. Until he's ready to come into our reality, we'll just continue business as usual. When that time does come, we'll all do what he told us. The same thing I've been telling all of you to do, and it's working perfectly, Harry. Barrack, we discussed this last year and many people are still wondering when the temple in Jerusalem will be rebuilt. Have you decided when construction will begin? Harry, I don't want to give too much away about that right now because as yet, we haven't ousted Trump from his pedestal yet, but it is coming soon. I will say this, very shortly now, I'll be right back again in the White House. Then the next stage of the global government can be initiated without any further delays. The violence you saw in the streets of Jerusalem, I orchestrated that. It's all an ends to a means. When I start the ball moving, it will be completed without any other disruptions. Believe me, Harry, it's all going exactly as my father has planned it to go since time's beginning. Barrack, is Trump's initiation of recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel part of your rhetoric for peace in the Middle East? Oh yes, Harry. Once that embassy is moved, you know, it will push forward my long-term plans to start that construction. I know the exact time sequence of events that still must happen, but I don't want to give away too much. Just sit back and watch the magic start. America, like Great Britain, want peace and all that rubbish. So, we'll give it to them for a little while longer until I'm ready to start taking the reins again in Washington. One question that intrigues me and the English public is the surprise announcement they just made about you using marijuana. What's up with that? Come on, Harry. You knew I did every kind of narcotic during my college years. You must have forgotten, I made it legal to buy marijuana in all 50 states only recently, this past year or so before leaving the White House. That's another global order mandate, make the public addicts and junkies, then they'll do whatever you tell them. I just used the excuse that parents needed it for their sick kids to have medical use. Then I snuck in the recreational option because it's what the public wanted even more than the pathetic parents did. So, since so many of them enjoy it, I got homesick for the good stuff myself and now I'm using it again. Don't be shocked about it, Harry, you should do this too. You've went all out once and did some really crazy stuff too, like that time you went the birthday suit route in Vegas. That was something, hearing about you taking it all off for fun. Prince Harry chuckles, then clears his throat with embarrassment. On the home front, Barrack, I hear about these sanctuary cities you helped start all over America. How is that going? It's a shame you haven't started it in England yet, Harry. We have people being killed all the time now and they go free without any restriction. Of course, that's only in the sanctuary cities. Law and order still continue in most other areas, but it helps to continue the hate quota against all the factions I helped to bring into the United States during those wonderful 8 years of bliss. Barrack, I've been hearing about this new revolutionary technology, this AI, or artificial intelligence that everyone's raving about. Is it really a part of your coming empire? Obama laughs uncontrollably. Harry, if you haven't read the Bible already, then there's nothing more I can say about it. Yes, it is definitely a part of the coming world order. I intend to put a very special model in Jerusalem once the temple construction is completed, then everyone will know what a fourth-generation model Sophia looks like. They are enthralled with Sophia right now and it's an obsolete model now. They can't see the real danger because they don't want to see it. That's how laughable it still is. They don't care, so they won't care. Just like my mandate for a chip implantation, many companies are already instigating it without me being there to tell them. They'll want to take my mark, then their loyalty to me will be assured. Barrack, about this AI technology. How will it work in the scheme of things for a new world order? Come on, Harry, do I have to spell every step out to you? Okay, let's try a simple overview. When you have people already complacent about life, you've given them everything. What is left but a servant that will take over any small resistance that might still be left from their wills? Then, they just fall into the pit I've already made for them. Obama then laughs again, not realizing that everything is being transcribed. At one point, the transcription states that Obama looked in their direction and whispered something to Prince Harry about what they were doing, then Harry waved to the transcriber to stop typing. Barrack, North Korea is really getting out of hand. What's your intentions to control Kim Jong-un? Harry, you don't stop something that works so well. He'll keep Trump guessing, then I'll pounce and the whole thing will end. My legions of Muslims in Israel are just awaiting my command to take over the capital. Then I'll just walk right in and take up residence, no fighting, no violence. It's all going to be wonderful, just you wait. What I don't understand, Barrack, is why you left the White House at all. If you're coming back, why even end your mandates you started? Isn't it going to be hard putting it back in order again? Not really, Harry. You forget, the United Nations is still in New York. They haven't forced them out of the country, yet. As long as my legions are in control, I see no problem with picking up from where I left off when I came out of the Oval Office that last day in January. Let me say something, Harry, about the ongoing changes. I can do anything. In a word, I can put it all back as it was when I controlled it all. You think Trump's work will come to anything when I return? Obama laughs again uncontrollably. The remainder of the interview were the excerpts that the BBC released for public airing. This is the only transcript that still exists of the conversations that Obama made with Prince Harry.
Go, I say go away. You bother me.